I have a personal experience as well. About 17 years ago, I was going for an interview as a young doctor somewhere in the southern part of this country. And I was involved in a road traffic accident. It was an 18-seater bus. 6 people died on the spot, including the driver, and I was beside the driver. I had multiple pelvic fractures. I had what they call neck of femur fracture. The bone of the has a neck. And once that neck is broken, it's a lot of work to fix it. I was on crutches for 8 months. I couldn't perform my job as a doctor. And it was at that point that I told myself, whatever it would take, I need to see how things can change in this perspective. We were put at the back, those of us that survived the accident, we were put at the back of a truck. And it was about 12 noon, very sunny afternoon. And they just put us back. And you can imagine how hot the iron on that thing would be. I shouted. As I was shouting, blood was coming from my mouth, from my face, from everywhere. I told them, I said, please, I'm a doctor. I will tell you how to carry me properly. It was too late. They just rushed all of us. I'm glad that the people that spoke ahead of me have done justice to many parts of this talk. I'm particularly happy hearing from Dr. Duro. He did a lot of talks. And I kept telling myself that hearing him gives us hope when it comes to the preventive aspect of this. Actually, the prevention for road traffic crashes is in various forms. So we have the primary prevention, maybe what you can call the primordial prevention, which is what we are doing. Like just talking about it, getting awareness, letting us know that things like this occur, and we should prepare so that it doesn't happen. We have the primary prevention, that is what must be done when these things, when we are behind the wheels, just to prevent road traffic crashes. And we also have the secondary prevention and the tertiary prevention, which is where I come in. And I like the way we have put it as post-crash. I'm an emergency physician by training. My name is Kehinde Ojifinni. By the special grace of God, your state should be proud to have the 2 first emergency physicians that are in the government sector in the country. I'm the current head of the emergency department at the University College Hospital. A lot of things have been said. I will just try to rush through some of them. Can we just go through the slides? I'm not sure. So we talked about the causes of road crashes in Nigeria. We mentioned all these factors. I'm not going to go through them again. We talked about road traffic accident, the economic importance of it being a global problem, which means we lose a lot to it, and also looking at it as a very pervasive problem. It involves every part of our lives, damage to properties, workplace productivity losses. Talk about household productivity losses. What about the medical costs? That's what we've not even talked about. I will paint a picture to our minds. If somebody comes to University College Hospital with a road traffic accident and he has injury to the head, I want to appreciate the Federal Road Safety people here. Thank you, ma'am. And also all our friends from other areas who passionately bring victims of accidents to the emergency department. I see the great work you guys do, and I want to say that God will reward you. It's only God that can reward you. I don't think there's any salary that we can be paid to really justify the amount of work that you put in. This patient who comes in with head injury and also maybe a limb injury, we need a CT scan. CT scan now, because of the way the hospital has tried to see how it can be subsidized, costs 35,000 only for the brain. There are x-rays that will be done for the chest, for the abdomen, for the limb that is affected. If you put everything together, that costs around 25,000 again. Of course, the person will open a card, let's assume not even open any account. By the time you look at the initial cost of not treatment, diagnosis for that patient, it's already spending close to 100,000. Please, how many people leave their house in the morning and say, let me keep the 100,000 in my pocket in case I was in the road traffic accident? Nobody does. And that's where we know that there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of how we receive these people and we treat them. So medical costs, also other things that we talked about in terms of traffic congestion. Now I'm going to quickly look at some statistics from my department. The place of injury, we find out that when a patient comes with all forms of injuries, most of the injuries, 4 out of every 5 injuries, occur on the road. That's why you have 79.4% of the injuries that present in the emergency department occur on the street or highway. Now, these injuries can be anything. It doesn't have to be road traffic. But the road traffic accident or injuries is also 4 out of every 5, 79.4%. Use of safety equipment for those who are involved in these injuries, only about 6% use any form of safety equipment. When patients have injuries, what are their various dispositions? That means they come to the emergency department. What do we do with them? Some we treat them and return them. That means those ones are not likely to spend so much. Maybe it's just a scratch, just an abrasion. We treat them and we say, okay, you are fine, you can go home. Very few of them. So only the ones that are discharged are 35.7%. Just a little bit above 1/3 of them get to be discharged immediately. That means the rest of them will stay a longer period in the hospital. Whether admitted for observation, some of them are even go to ICU, some to theater, some may be referred. We don't usually get to refer people out in the emergency department or in UC in general. And this is what we have this year, 2021. Meaning that the cost of road traffic accidents or road traffic injuries is enormous. It's beyond what can be taken care of most of the time by individuals. Because not many people earn that much to take care of it. In my training outside the country, what it obtains is that we usually have a road accident fund that is accessible by people who are victims, so that once they come to the hospital, we just keep treating them. I know that the law says every emergency must be attended to. But the reality on ground now is that it's only stated on paper, but in reality, we can't get it done that way. And we look forward to a time where we'll be able to have collaborations among the government agencies and non-governmental organizations to get that done. So that when patients get to the emergency department and needs to be taken care of, we do everything. As a matter of fact, in my department, we also have our own kind of corporate social responsibilities where we contribute money. Doctors contribute money monthly, and we keep it somewhere because it's not like it's a lot of money. Where if you have a patient who needs to be treated urgently, you can quickly bring out money and do something, especially for indigent people. Thank you for that. And we know it's not a lot of money, but it's just a way by which we to show that we have passion for what we are doing. Like I've heard the passion that emanates from everyone who has talked across board today. So road crashes have an impact that reverberates through every sector of the country. And if businesses work together to help improve road safety, the benefit will spread throughout the economy with the potential to help the company's own bottom line. Because we know when accidents happen, a lot of people are affected. I'm going to talk on this and we'll stop there because of our time. There are some 5 trusts that we think will help us to make our roads safe again, or to reduce the impact of road traffic injuries, or to prevent deaths on our roads. If somebody is involved in a road traffic accident and he dies on the spot, there is nothing anybody can do about it. But if the person gets to the hospital, means that there is still something we can do. And that is the fifth one. So we talked about education, which the previous speakers have talked about. Enforcement, Mogaji and the rest, all the best. So that is your area. And you have also highlighted the problems that come with doing this. You prefer to put your cars down and go by rail because it's faster, it's easier, and that also helps us to reduce the number of cars that are on the road. Environmental control is also a very important one, but I'm going to talk about emergency care of victims. I'm so happy to hear that we have things around the National Ambulance Services and also the place of state-controlled or citywide ambulances. I remember that the state had something like that previously, but I believe we can improve on it. It's not just enough for us to have ambulances. We must have ambulances that are manned by people who know how to do first aid and to do basic life support. That's where we come in. We can always help in training and retraining, even the Federal Road Safety Corps people, police, everybody who is a stakeholder in this can benefit from training from the emergency department of the University of pre-hospital, that's what we talked about, the pre-hospital care. If we are trying to see and suggest to the Oyo State government, I've been in touch with the special advisor to the governor on health matters concerning the issue of paramedics and pre-hospital care. If you can have the paramedics training, done the paramedics, be the first people to get to the site of accident, alongside with the people who have been doing it. The FRSC have done a fantastic job. You can't take away that from them. And they just need to be trained more and more, training and retraining, so that they too can be better equipped to do this, because they may be the ones to be the first responders at such times. Managed health care is very important for road users. And if it's possible, I remember we had something like this done in those states about 10 years ago, where we talked about the possibility of having a kind of health care system, or like a health insurance scheme for people that are NURTW, the CADA people, where they contribute just a minimal amount of money, so that when any of them has to come to UCH for treatment, you just have to show a card to say that you are a member of that organization, and then the treatment is continued. Whatever amount that's supposed to be billed to that person is billed to the road accident fund. And that is something that I feel we can also do in Oyo State. With all of these things, I think it will make our work easier in terms of the post-crash treatment of people who are involved in road traffic accidents. I think with this, I'll just conclude. Accidents on the roads have very pervasive and damaging effects on individuals and the society at large.